Okay. Hi, I'm Philip Lee with Seward County Community College Public Relations and Marketing, and I am here with Darin Workman, Division Chair of Humanities. How are you today, Darin?
Doing good for a Monday.
All right. And also, you are heading up the education department over at your in humanities, correct?
That is correct.
All right. And the reason I bring that up is because this coming Wednesday, we've got a CADA meeting, which stands for Kansas Advanced Teacher Academy, over at the college this Wednesday at 9 a.m. And it's in collaboration with K-State, and it's about elementary education. Can you tell us a little bit about that, Darin?
Yes, this all started with a grant that K-State received, and they started calling it KSTEP, and it's only includes Seward County Community College and Kansas City Community College, an urban community college and also a rural community college. And the big problem for areas like that is getting qualified educators to teach our kids. And so this is a way for us to kind of grow our own educators in the area. And we're combining this with trying to get paras. A lot of them have college credit through us. They have to have a certain amount of college credit uh, to get them qualified where we have our own teachers to choose from here in Liberal. We also have a new grant that just started second semester this last year. Um, I'm trying to think the name of it, Trust Grant, sorry, that came from Kansas Board of Regents. And we're using that to maybe help those kids along financially to make it just a little bit more inexpensive to get through their time. But the K-Step is really what the CADA this Wednesday is all about, where the kids know exactly what they're going to do program, the 60 hours here at Seward County Community College, and then 60 more hours through K-State. Now, the difference is they don't ever have to leave Liberal to become a qualified elementary teacher. They can do everything online after they leave Seward County. And that also includes their student teaching that would be done here locally in Liberal.
And that's a really, really important factor to a lot of people here in town. You know, we always talk about that, you know, a lot of people can't go ahead or aren't thinking about 4 years or transferring or whatever, or going in because simply they may have family obligations or commitments, or maybe they simply don't want to leave or they can't leave. And so, you know, a lot of times, well, I want to learn this or I want to become an educator, but I can't do it right now. This gives them the best of both worlds, where that they can actually stay in, stay put, and actually, if they are working, they can keep working at the school and stay home too. Or if they're, you know, or if they're not a para, they can actually still keep work and still be here. And everything, you know, is right here locally. And not just that, after their 2 years are done, they can actually do all their learning online, correct?
That's absolutely correct. In the meetings I've sat in, and we're always worried about student retention and why students don't go on. The two big things is either financial or family related. Uh, and we're kind of taking away at least one of those and helping with another. And even here at Seward County, you can get your degree totally online, associates with our Educant partnership.
Mhm.
Uh, and with all our two or three education classes that we have that particularly go into the degree are all taught in the evenings.
Yeah, and the one thing for sure is that this is not a hybrid. You know, a lot of times that you have hybrids where you have to go like a weekend or two to sort of, and you don't. In this case, you really do get to stay here. And how does that sort of work? I know that on some of the programs, when are there actually going to be some K-State faculty coming down once in a while here to sort of check on them? How does that kind of work?
Well, the way it works, the classes actually are the online are even where they'll actually be part of a class, but if that class meets during the day or not a time, they'll be able to watch the recordings to get through.
Mhm.
They will have, I'm not sure if it'll be an actual K-State person. I know in the past there's a lady that has helped me tremendously, Luann Getz, who's from this area originally, but works for K-State. She's the one who kind of drives this grant, and she comes down, but really supervising the, the student teaching part, which is really the big part, will be done, by our local school principals and cooperating teachers.
Mhm.
So it's kind of a partnership between USD 480 and us, and also K-State.
And that's really important. The fact is that we have a partnership with the school here where they know that they need to get instructors or teachers in their system. And rather than going out constantly looking for, you have a set pool already right here at the college. And that's just pretty awesome. The one thing that I would say is that, throughout, since I've been out here, which has been 20 some years, is that there's been such a need for teachers. And that's just so different, but especially in the rural areas. You can never get people coming back out here and committing here while they want to be in a bigger city, blah, 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 this or that. But I'm like, there recently has been a push to get rural, instructors out to the rural areas, and that's so important. And I think this is a program that will help that out quite a bit.
Yeah, it will help with, being married to someone in the school system, elementary. I hear it all the time, and they used to go out to other states to try to draw in teachers. Well, we might not realize it, but Southwest Kansas isn't for everybody. And this is a way, if we grow our own, there's no culture shock, weather shock, whatever, the excuses are gone,
Mm-hmm.
um, for staying out in this area. And I really believe in this program of trying to grow our own teachers as much as we can. The urban areas have the same problems we have. It's just opposite
Right.
of teaching in an inner city setting. So this is really good, and I have to give it up to K-State of really coming up with this project to help. And I really think we're kind of under a microscope throughout the state if this really works. I think if this does work, which I think it will, um, you're going to see a lot of other programs open up, not just from K-State, other universities.
Yeah. One of the things also about from the targets, I think that you probably said that it really benefits the paras over at in USD 480 or anywhere for that matter, because there are the instructors out of who paras who for whatever reason didn't decide that they wanted to get their degree or could get their degree. Now they can actually kind of fast track to that, can't they?
Yes, they can. We get them into the program, which at last count, I think we have 21 elementary majors here at the college, that not all of them are going to want to go through K-State. And there's nothing wrong with the traditional students that want to go to a campus. But I think this opens it up more to our population base that we have here in town.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, we had a meeting at the end of the school year. It's actually the last day of school for USD 480, invited all the parents. A couple people came down from K-State. I attended. We had 29 paras just in liberal
Mm-hmm.
interested in this. And for whatever reason, a lot of it's family, sometimes it's financial. But if you get your 60 hours, we know the first 60 hours is going to be really cheap. We're really good to our people around here at Seward.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just have to make it through your next 60 hours. And then, even if you're working as a para, you become a teacher and you're probably going to at least double, if not triple, your salary.
Oh, without a doubt, I think that people sort of don't realize that like to be a paralegal, why don't I just be a teacher if you enjoy what you're doing? And this gives them that opportunity right off the bat to do that. I often in the past have always wondered that, like if you're a paralegal, why don't you go get your teaching degree? And now this is an absolute beautiful opportunity, especially with working with 480, because I'm sure that they know as well. And so therefore, you can probably make some, you can probably be a little bit more flexible with them and them understanding the things that are going on.
I would think so. And we do, the high school has a pathway to teaching that Sherry King runs at the school, and she's part of this group that we meet. I'm hoping this next year, part of the trust grant gives us some money to develop pathways with some of our surrounding schools to feed into us. I mean, my goal is to make Seward County the education community college in this part of the state.
Mm-hmm.
And with the partnership that we have with K-State and some of the other universities in our service area, we're trying to take out all of the barriers as much as we can of not being able to complete a 4-year degree.
Yeah, I certainly agree with you. I think that there have been plenty of students in the past who have, gone through elementary and gone over. And I think that there's, for whatever reasons, there's been a lull, but there are students who definitely want to do that. And this gives them an absolute opportunity. Now we talk about Paris, but also this is for freshmen who want to come in. This is for not just US 4A, this is for our surrounding areas. And, this benefits everyone. So we're not just limited to here at Liberal or Seward County. We're can actually get out for our region group to actually get people in here.
Yeah, I know one of the girls that's attending on Wednesday has already signed up. She's a para in Turpin, Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. Well, she is coming to Seward, almost done with her associate's degree. And she said she's got family in Turpin, and that's where she wants to end up teaching. But yet, we're doing it. Kansas State just wants to increase the number of teachers. It doesn't matter where. For high school kids coming through, if you think teaching might be a thing, you come to Seward County, you take Intro to Ed and a couple other classes, you'll know by then, because all those involve clinicals with elementary schools here in town. And the last 3 semesters, our Intro to Ed class has been full. And that's really, really nice to see. And plus, all of our ed classes that we have are taught by teachers from 480.
That's excellent.
Yeah, we're using real teachers instead of people like me who hasn't been in a public school for 28 years. Mm-hmm. Well, it's changed. We didn't have technology when we didn't have copying machines when we used a duplicate.
The old mimeograph.
Yeah. And, library, we were still using microfiche and all that. I mean, it has all changed. Kids have changed. The schools have changed. Mm-hmm. Anyone interested, go visit our schools here in Liberal. They're absolutely wonderful, the new schools.
Yeah. So, Darin, talk a little bit about what the participants can expect on Wednesday when they go in here. What are they going to do? Are they going to meet? They're going to go through some classes? Are they going to? First of all, it's free. It's absolutely free, and you guys are going to feed them. And so, if you're interested, just come on out for anything else. But but it's absolutely free, and that's one thing that doesn't cost anything, just a little bit of time, and this could actually be so beneficial to you. So, but let's tell us a little bit about the what's going to go on Wednesday.
Well, we'll start registration at 9. We're a little flexible. It kind of depends on the group that we have. We're going to be flexible. We think that's important to do that. But we have K-State people coming out, a couple associate deans, and people from their admissions, financial aid. We're trying to cover all of our bases because the main thing to take from this, yes, we're going to go through what to expect from teaching, but just telling you is not really going to give you everything you need to know, but it is going to give you the right people all in one place that you're going to be able to ask questions. They'll give you information that you probably didn't know. There's information that I've gotten out of our meetings. I'm thinking, wow, we didn't have this when I was going through education, when I was in college. There's a lot of information out there. We're going to leave plenty of time for students to ask questions. We're going to be eating lunch over at Billy's. I have the private room over there. And we're all going to get together. We're going to split up different tables, put a K-State representative at your table that can answer all those hard questions, or questions that, maybe you don't think of until, you're thinking, oh, I'd like to be a teacher. And then 3 years later, oh, what if I would have asked this? And I didn't know that. Know what scholarships are available, know how to handle financial aid,
Right.
And how easy it really is. Even our traditional students, they take intro to ed and they spend time in the schools. They just know the teachers when they're at school. Well, this is the way you'll find out exactly what's going on in those schools. We'll have some local representatives on Wednesday. And so I think the questions, that's always the big thing. When we got the pairs together, and I talked at our intro to ed with traditional students here in the fall and the spring, that there are a lot of questions and kids don't think of them. Well, having the people that know the answers all in one place on one day, we're going to be able to answer the questions. If a person's not an expert in that, there'll probably be someone else there that is an expert in that area. They don't know, they all have phones, they'll find the answer that everyone needs.
And at the same time, too, and I'm looking at the flyer here, that they'll also be doing various topics, right? They'll be talking about certain things, and so it'll give them an idea of not just like, well, what do I do, but what they expect to learn, and the process that they'll go through. Like you just sort of said before, is that there'll be a lot of new things that we haven't gone through, and that the kids for the 21st, 22nd century are going to need to know. And so I see here that, they have some like social change, technology, college life 101, and just all stuff like that they'll sort of learn, correct?
Yeah, that is correct. We kind of came up with a theme for our CATA, and we're, because of our area and traditional students and non-traditional students, we're using the theme family for ours. And we've always thought of Seward County here. You've been here a long time. I've been here a long time. We're one big green family.
Yeah.
Here. And family is one of the main top two reasons for people stopping their education. They have to support their family.
Right.
Well, I thought it was a great topic, because if get that little bit of effort and get that 4-year degree, just think how much more your family's going to benefit from that, and how much the community's going to benefit from that.
And the whole thing here is that when you take this just like anything else, teachers are in high demand. And teachers, despite what you call it, you get, like you said, salary-wise, you're starting off at a really, really good, strong salary with advancement up over there. But more importantly, you're helping the community. You're helping the community and building up something that you believe in. If you believe in Seward County, the community needs needs teachers, and the rural area especially. So once you go through this program, graduate, there's almost a guarantee that you will get a job.
Oh, definitely. I was sitting at home last week. Well, not sitting at home, but I was hiring a social science instructor. Well, I had over 30 applicants. I asked my wife, how are your applicants going? She goes, we have 0. That's to me, for as nice as our schools are, and to me, as nice as our community is to live in, that's unbelievable to me that we
Yeah.
have no applicants for.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't. I sort of have absolutely no understanding of that, but you know that they're definitely needed, and so if they go through this, they can certainly get a job probably pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, we have one of our K-Step students that's just finishing up here at Seward, either graduating December or May. She's actually going to have her own classroom this year as an emergency teacher.
Hmm.
And they've already told her, if you're decent, you're good. This is your classroom if you want it.
Yeah, I certainly know instructors or teachers out of who had just come in out and they went straight to Sunflower, got a job right there because they need them. And so,
Mhm.
if you're looking for a career path and something that is not only financial but also fulfilling as well, you know, there's nothing like teaching.
It doesn't get any more fulfilling than teaching. Sometimes it bugs me, but as long as I've been here, you go to Walmart, I can never remember them, but I have kids that I had, 28, 29, 30 years ago from this
Mhm.
area that'll come up and talk to you, say hi, and get to see, if they're successful, how they're doing. There's nothing more fulfilling that. It also makes you feel old, but it is fulfilling. And it's really nice, especially if you have a family with both my wife and I, both teachers. We have the same holidays off.
Mhm. I'm sure that there have been one that with your wife that she has sort of seen sort of seen little kids that she that she went through the system with, and now suddenly they're teaching with her.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting up there in age that I've actually, the last couple of years, have taught sons or daughters of mom and dads that I have taught,
Exactly.
which is really cool too. That at least I think they trust me enough, and I did a good enough job that they're sending their kid here.
Yeah.
I have one coming in this year, brand new freshman, that I had his dad in my band at Southwestern Heights.
Hmm.
And he was looking at he's on the tech side, on the automotive side, but his dad brought him over and he goes, this is the reason, is because you were here. I had so much fun in high school band and my son
Hmm.
loves it. And when he saw my name was still here, because they had moved away to the eastern side of the state,
Hmm.
we got a kid from, I think he's from Olathe, that's coming here to do auto mechanics or auto tech
Hmm.
to take band from me.
Wow.
So he can say, me and my dad had the same old band teacher, except I
Wow.
was young when his dad had me.
Mm.
So
Cool.
that's
So
really cool.
yeah. So anyway, okay. So if anyone who is interested in elementary education, it's not just the paras or people who are already in the school system, freshmen, high school students who are interested, come on down. It's Wednesday from 9 to 2:30. It's free. You'll learn all about the K-Step program in our collaboration with K-State, Seward County Community College, elementary education. Darin, is there anything else that you want to add?
No, just show up. Even if you're not sure, this is going to give you some information that will either sway you either way of what goes on to be an educator in Southwest Kansas.
And Darin, what's the phone number that they could reach you?
417-1458. I have to
Okay.
look at my phone to make sure that's right, because I never use my office phone, but that number, I always have my cell phone forwarded, my office number to my cell phone.
So, if you have any kind of questions, any questions about this, or, you want to go and, Darin probably would appreciate just to have numbers out over there, give them a call. Again, it's free. They'll feed you. There are also going to be prizes and scholarships given away. So there's really absolutely no cost to you except for a little bit of time. And that time could be incredibly valuable because it's leading you into an incredible new career.
Well, I'd like to thank you for letting us get this out there to everybody, because I do believe in this program, and it could help a lot of people and a lot of children in the future.
All right, Darin, I appreciate you taking the time, and hopefully we'll have a good turnout for this Wednesday. All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.